Welcome you all to the course on machine learning. In today's session, we will be continuing the topic on expectation maximization algorithm, which is part 2. In the last lecture, we discussed about the fundamentals or the basics of the expectation maximization algorithm. We will recap the contents we discussed in the previous lecture, and then we will straight away we will solve the numerical based on the expectation maximization algorithm. When we talk about the expectation maximization algorithm, it is an iterative estimation algorithm where we will be repeating so many steps, right? So that will be used to derive the maximum likelihood estimates in the presence of missing or hidden data. So that could be incomplete data that we will be calling as a latent variable. When we talk about a latent variable, if any type of data which has any missing data or uncompatible data or incomplete data, so that type of data, so we will be calling as a latent variable. From that latent variable, we are trying to guess, and then we are trying to predict, or we are going to find out what is the data which is missing based on the available data. The best the technique or the function we are using here is that the Gaussian mixture model that in the previous lecture we discussed about that how the Gaussian mixture models which performs finding that the best the optimal parameters now to find out the missing values, right? We discussed with the graph diagrams, right, how the based on the number of bits how the data which has been clustered together, and then we discussed about the two steps. One is expectation, then maximization steps. So and that we discussed about the Gaussian mixer function. So this is one or best optimal function that will be used to find out the missing values in the expectation maximization algorithm. Now, so this is the simple syntactic representation of our the expectation maximization algorithm. So out of this diagram, so here the x, capital X, which represented as the underlying space where we have the set of data, right? X is a complete data. So here this X is a complete data, and capital Y is the observation space where we have the available data sets, right, or the existing data set, right, and Y small r Y is then observation, and small x is the observed by means of y of x. So based on that the y values, we are going to find out some values, right, and the capital X of y, so which is going to be the subset of x determined by the y. So here we are going to find out the max, I mean the median as well as the variance value, and then we are going to use it to the formula. So this is the syntactic representation through which how we can be able to represent our the expectation maximization function. Now, what we will be doing in this the expectation maximization function, or where this can be used. First one is that the filling missing value in the sample. Suppose if the data is somewhere it is missing, and there are a lot of applications where we will some data might be missing. The data might not be suited. Whatever the data or value which is entered, that might not be suited or might be not compatible. So that data will be considered as the missing values, and we are going to find out the missing values, and then we are going to find out that discovering the value of the latent variables. Latent variables again, it's the hidden values or the missing values. Estimating the parameters of hidden Markov model. So this is again, so in the previous tutorials, we discussed about that hidden Markov model, that we discussed about the different transition diagram as well as different states, and then we calculated about the probabilities. What will be the next sequence could be possible. So here again, though, this expectation maximization algorithm, which also works, uses mainly in the hidden Markov model. Then it will be also used for estimating the parameters of finite mixes models again. So that could be our the Gaussian mixer models, and then unsupervised learning of clusters. So again, this is one. So where the expectation maximization algorithm, the main application is that the main purpose is that, so this is used for clustering the objects. So here the clustering again, which comes in the part of the unsupervised learning methods, right? And again the parameters of mixes of Gaussian models. So here these are the some areas where the expectation maximization algorithms can be broadly used. Next, we will jump into the expectation maximization algorithm. So these are the steps. I'm going to explain how we will be finding out the expectation, or how we will implement this expectation maximization algorithm, or expectation maximization clustering algorithm. So first we are going to consider a set of starting parameters, right? So we assume that the observed data somewhere it is missing. It consists of some incomplete or missing values, and we are going to assume that the observed data come from the specified model, and we got some trained model, right? And with the help of that, what we are going to do is that we are going to use this the observed model or the observed data to estimate the missing data. So from the available data, we are going to find out the missing data, and then we are going to use some parameters from the model, and so through that we are going to guess the missing values. So this process will be comes under that expectation model. So from the available data, we are going to guess that we are going to roughly we are going to calculate some values. So that we are going to assume as that the missing value. We are going to expect that some value for the missing, and so this is comes under the expectation step. The next step is that the maximization steps. Whatever the data which we calculated here, the missing value which we calculated, and we are going to use in the place of the missing value, and then we are going to check that whether that data is, whether most likely the parameters are whether that the newly calculated data whether it is optimally suits for the missing data. And then suppose if it is yes, if it is suits perfectly or matches perfectly, and then we are going to stop it. Suppose if again so it is not matching properly, if the data somewhere here and there, and again we are going to repeat the steps. And so this process which has to be repeated unless until we update the parameters, unless until we are getting the perfect matches. So here basically we'll follow the two steps. The first one is that expectation steps are E step, and the second step also is maximization steps are M step. The general idea behind this, the expectation maximization algorithm, any model that predicts the corpus observations via some hidden structures from based on some hidden states or hidden structures, we are going to identify some states, and then we are going to use to find or guess the new parameters. Initially, guess the parameters of the model. So again, this is an educated guess is the best, but random can work. Initially, we are randomly we are going to select, and then we are going to apply into the formula, and then we are going to check whether it is worked properly, and then we are going to repeat it. And the second thing is that expectation step. So here it uses the current parameters, whatever the value which we calculated, to reconstruct the hidden structures, and then we are going to repeat it. After that, we will use the maximization steps, which uses the hidden structure and observation to re-estimate the parameters. So here, so this process has to be repeated unless until the result gets converged. When we talk about the converge, so where the two function result which is going to be similar or almost same, where the difference is very less, which is going to be negligible. When whatever the missing value which we calculated, that is matches with the missing value, if it suits into the missing values places, then we will consider it is the best value or the optimal value. Then we will consider it is the results are converged. Now this is again the diagrammatic representation of expectation maximization step. So initially we are going to guess the values, and then guess of unknown parameters based on the probability. And so with the help of the each step, again we are going to guess the unknown hidden structures, whether it could be the tags or passes or whether. So based on the different applications, when we talk about the words or ice cream, so instead of the words, right, from the observed structures, we are going to find out the hidden structure, whether it could be the tags for the word, and then the different passes, and then the weather. So based on the ice cream, whether the season could be the summer. So based on that, the observed structure, we are going to guess some the hidden structures, and then we are going to proceed with the next step, which is M step, right? Through the M step, so again we will calculate the values, and then we will proceed it. Next, we will be discussing about in the other relevant to this expectation maximization algorithm. So here, So here, this algorithm will be a maximum likelihood estimation, or we'll call it as the maximum likelihood (ML), right? And so here, the parameters describe the characteristics of the populations. Their values are estimated from the samples collected from the populations. Now, when you talk about that maximum likelihood estimation, is a parameter estimates as the most consistent with the sample data. It maximizes the likelihood function. So again, so this is again maximum likelihood estimation. So this is again a function through which we will try to find out whether the data which is going to most probably suit with the particular places. So again, we are going to check that whether it is resemblance, maximum resemblance with the existing data. So this comes under the maximum likelihood estimation. So here now we will discuss about the maximum likelihood estimation in terms of basics, fundamentals, or the equations in terms of expectation maximization algorithm. X is a capital X is a set of data points, or I could say that the observed data. So here these are the data which is available with this, and so this may consist of some missing data or inconsistent data, or we'll this may the observed data may consist of missing values, right? Again, the theta is the parameters, or I could say that this is the vector parameters. So here I'm going to consider about that if the data are two dimensionals, right? Again, I could consider it is more than multi-dimensional. Then I could assume it is the vector. So here the theta is the parameters for the vectors. Now we are going to find out that which is method to find the maximum likelihood estimation using this formula. So here the maximum likelihood, and then the maximum which is theta epsilon to the omega, and so here this is the L is the likelihood function of theta. So here we are going to find out that the data which is maximum similar to that the given values. Out of that we are going to find out that argmax and theta epsilon omega and log of probability of Ax capital X, which is belongs to the theta value. So here the conditional probability of X when the given theta. So here this is the notations or abbreviations for the symbols, right? L of theta, which is likelihood functions, right? How it is going to resemblance with the given values, right? Now here this P of probability of X given theta is directly hard. Instead, that what we are going to do is that we are going to use an alternate method. In that we are going to find out that the probability of capital X comma capital Y given theta. So this is very simple, where Y is the hidden data, so the missing data. First we are going to find out the probability of the hidden values, and then we are going to utilize it to find out the direct probability. So here again, so this is an another strategy where z is equal to z is the complete data. The complete data which consists of X is the hidden data and Y is the X is the observed data and Y is the hidden data. So for these two values, now we are going to use this the maximum likelihood estimation as per the previous slide explanation. We are going to start with the initial estimate value for theta, and then we are going to refine the parameters, right? And the current estimates iteratively to increase the likelihood of the observed data. So here initial whatever the initial data parameters which you have selected, and now that is going to be repeated unless until we finding the proper probability value for the given sequence. Now here the statement which is given, the problem is X which is observed. So here head tail sequences. Now here why is the hidden states, in that we will consider it as the coin ID sequences. Now theta could be that what is the probability? The probability of 1 and then probability 2 and then lambda. So these are the probability value which we are going to find out. So for the given observed data which is X. Now we will focus on this the numericals or the problem which is based on the expectation maximization algorithm. For our simple understanding, I am just taking the coin toss examples, right? Let's we have the two coins, coin A and then coin B. Coin A which is represented in the red color, and then coin B which is represented in the blue color. Out of these two coins, now what I am going to do is that I am going to find out the probabilities for heads for both the coins. Now the probability of head for the A coin A, which is QA, and then probability of coin B's head, which is QB. Now for each coin, what I'm going to do is that 5 measurements. So that means that 5 repetitions, 5 measurement sets, including 10 coins tosses in each set. So here you will find out that there are 5 sets: one, two, three, and then set number four, and then set number five. So these are the 5 sets, and each set consists of 5 tosses: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in every set there are 5 tosses, sorry, 10 tosses, right? And we are going to find out that the probability or the maximum likelihood probabilities for the given set. So here first we are considering is that the coin B. So for coin B, the first set or the first coin B has been tossed for 10 times, and out of that, so here I am calculating that, which is 5 heads and then 5 tails. So here head 1, head 2, and then head 3, head 4, then head 5. So total number of heads, which is 5, and then the total number of tail, which is 5. Very similar to that again for the coin A, which is 9 heads and then 1 tail. Again coin A for second twist, for second set, which is 8 heads and then 2 tails. Again coin B, 4 heads and then 6 tails. Again coin A, which is 7 heads and then 3 tails. So after completing these 5 sets, now I am going to find out the total probability for coin A being the head. So here the initially I was mentioning about that we are trying to find out the probabilities of both the coins or two coins being the heads. So if I talk about the coin A, which is total 24 heads plus 6 tails. So total I could say that 24 plus 6, which is 30 events. Out of that, the 24 events are heads. So here I am using that 24 upon 24 plus 6, which is 24 upon 30. So here I will get 0.8, 80% probability for being getting the head for the coin A. Likely, so for coin B, I am going to find out the total number of heads which we got for the sequence of events, which is 5 plus 4, which is 9 heads, and then 11 tails. 9 heads and then 11 tails. So total we have the 20 events. So 9 heads. So we will find out the probability by substituting the values. 9 upon 20 we will get 0.45 or 45% probability of getting the head. So this is again a simple example through which how we can find out the probability. So in the next example, so here we are going to use the complete expectation as well as maximization steps to find out the probability or the missing values. So here, as per the previous slide, we have calculated some the values for the coin A and then coin B. Very similar to that. Now here, this is the coin A's probability as well as coin B's probability for being ahead. So here the 0.6 and then the 0.5, which I have selected here. So this is the random value. So this is the selected values. I did not calculate it. This is randomly selected value. Nowhere I have calculated. Now this is the sequence of event which given here, right? Now what I'm going to do is that, so for that, now the 5 set of events, the same example which we discussed in the previous slide, 5 sets, coin A, coin B, coin A, coin A, again coin B, and then coin A, which is tossed, and then each set which consists of 10 tosses, right? Now what I'm going to do is that from that events, right, what I'm going to do is that initial value which I will consider, this is randomly selected, right, this 0.6 and then 0.5, I'm going to use it, right? For first I'm going to take this the first set of event which is B, which is 5 heads and then 5 tails. So I'm going to substitute this value here using that the expectation 1, right? So this is the binomial distribution formula, which is in the vector of n k and p power k of 1 minus p and then in the power of n minus k. So here out of that, n is the number of elements and k is the number of sets or the number of events which is occurs, right, out of that. So here from this the example here the n value which is 10, so total number of tosses is 10. Out of that, 5 are the heads. Now what I'm going to consider is that, so here the first, by substituting the formula, what is the probability of getting the head, which is 0.6, as I selected here, 0.6 power 5. So this value is 5, 5 is being the head, and multiplied by that 1 minus 0.6, which is 0.4, which is again 5. If substitute this value, simplify this value, now we will get 0.201. Very similar to that. Now we are going to find out that the second value, which is here, this is 10 upon, sorry, 10 5, and then so here we are going to find out that point B, which is 0.5. So here we consider it as 0.5. Now here I am going to consider this the 0.5 power 5 multiplied by that 0.5 power this. So how I got this 0.5? 1 minus 0.5 using this formula. So here I assume that this is the 0.5 value which is got from this value 0.5, and so this value 1 minus 0.5, right? So here we'll get the 0.5 power and the remaining value, which is, so here also 5, here also 5, which is equal to 0.246. Now from this value, what we are going to do is that, so we are going to substitute that values, whatever the probability which we calculated. Now we are going to find out that, right? So here this is the 0.201 for the first coin, coin is head probability, and upon I'm going to add that the two events probability, 2 points probability, 0.201 and then 0.246, which I'll get 0.45. So here the 0.45 I'm going to substitute here. Very similar to that for the second events, right, which is the coin B's probability for being a head, which is 0.246 upon the two events, the two probability, coin A's probability and then coin B's probability, which is again 0.201 and then plus 0.246. So here we will get 0.55. No, so here we calculated that for this is the probability for the second, right, second coin's probability, which is 0.45 and then 0.55. So this is for tail. Now the first element, which is for head, and now this is for tail. So for being head, which is 0.45, for being tail, which is 0.55. Now what we are going to do is that, so this, whatever the values which we calculated, the probability which we calculated, further we are going to extend into that expectation step 3. So here we are going to calculate, or we are going to multiply the events into the probability value. The total number of the events or the heads we got is 5 multiplied by the probability which we calculated, which is 2.2 heads. Very similar to that, the 5 tails multiplied by that the tails probability, which is 0.45, which here we will get 2.2 tails. Very similar to that. So if you multiply by that, 5 times and then 0.55, which is for being a head, which is we will get 2.8 here, 2.88, and then 5 multiplied by that the probability, which is 0.55. So here we will get 2.80. So here 2.8h and then 2.80. So here 2.2h and then 2.2. So whatever the value which we calculated in terms of the red and then blue, so that is going to be evenly multiplied by the number of heads and then tails. We are going to get it. Now, so likewise, so this process which is going to be completely repeated for finding the probability for both this, the second as well as the third, four, five tosses. A second, third, and then four, and then five. So we will substitute the values into this formula, and then we will get the results, right? Zero point 0.8 again, 0.20 likewise, right? So this process has to be repeated, and then we will be finding these values 7.2 and then 0.2, 0.8 t, and then 1.88 and then 0.2 t, and then so if we complete all these the five steps, so here, and then we are going to add all these events. So here, which is, if you add all these values for the red coins, so here I mean the coin A, so this is the probability of being head, which is 21.3 heads and then 8.6 tails. Very similar to that for the blue the coin B, which is 11.7 head and then 8.4 T. Now what I'm going to do is that, so now this process, after finding this value, now this process, this value which will be fed into this, the maximization steps. So that is our the M steps. So what I'm going to do is that, so here I'm going to find out the probability. So here for the coin A, which is getting the head, which is 21.3, which we the calculated value, which is the summed value, which is 21.3 upon 21.3 plus 86, which we got from this the coin A. So here we will get 0.71, and then for coin B, what is the probability of getting this head? So here, which is 11.7, which we calculated, this 11.7 upon this 11.7 plus 8.4, so here we'll get 0.58. So what we are going to do is that, so now this process, so here this probability value, so here we are going to assume it for point, for A we'll assume it is 0.71, again for B we'll be assuming it is 0.58. Now after assuming this the probability, and then we are going to repeat the complete steps, right? Once if we repeat that, if the consecutive results, if there is no changes in the results, whatever we are going to get, that means that we have calculated the correct probability, or we have calculated the correct sequences. So here that will be our final steps after completing all these steps. So here we will get the probability for the coin A getting that head, which will be zero point 0.8. Again for the coin B, which is probability of getting head, which is 0.52. Thank you.